Okay, good morning, guys. This is Simon with TRADEnPERFORM Coaching. So you can see, let's just dive right into it. So you can see, first of all, we have quite a consolidation here. So the first thing I think is a break either of liquidity up above 25,900 or an impulse move below 24,880. Let's just come back and re-auction all of this below, or break above 25,900. Let's just go re-auction all of this above. And other than that, we're in balance. And I don't know what to make of that, other than usually when you're in balance, usually what happens, like if we go back and find an old balance, you'll see it, um, is this. So this is the balance area right through. This is basically your balance area, right? You break underneath the balance area, you trap, you go to the other side of the range. You break to the top of the balance area, you trap, you go to the other side of the range. Break the balance area, trap, you go to the other side of the range. Break the balance area, attempt to trap, failed, right? Rolls all the way down, traps back into the balance side of the range, and goes to the other end. My guess is we're going to end up with some variation of this. What that looks like when it's actually a breakdown or breakout, I suppose. I'm not going to load more days. Let me see if I can find it. So here's a balance area, right? So this is the opposite. So see this, I would mark this as the beginning of balance right there, right? So you can see break underneath, trap. The key is on the backside test when it pushes out. If it sets back up there and pushes the other side of the range, right? Impulse move, test back in, come out, backside test, push, consolidation above the prior consolidation. And then it goes through these series of consolidation, breakout, continuation. You just kind of know it when you see it, right? But see how you get a balance area? Break below the balance area, back in. Balance area, break out, come back, retest the balance area, responsive buyers, right? New balance area, this goes for 4 or 5 days, break out, come back, retest, go. So we're in the establish the balance area portion of the game, right? And then we'll know. So usually what happens is markets like to stay in balance. So it breaks, they try to bring it back. So I would say this 24,480 to 450 is the very edge of balance, right where we're at right now. And usually what happens is we'll break underneath, especially the first few times we break, they're going to consolidate. Choice B is you get consolidation, open drive lower, significant break, and it never traps back in like this. See how you just completely busted that consolidation? And you don't know till you know, right? But there's some things you can do within there to know that it makes our trading decisions a lot easier, right? So let's go through it and get it all together. So you can see here we're pushing into, these are all prior day's lows. We are highly likely to trade there, but I don't know it and I don't need to know, right? When you look at the trading from overnight and from yesterday, right? So there's two, I want to address one big issue here that could annoy a lot of people that's very, very important. See here, let's say you showed up and that we trade between 7:30. Let's say we trade between 7 and 9 a.m. That's our trading hours, right? When you look here, you see that huge roll down? And you could say, like, that's really beautiful, right? We're holding underneath the 400, which is the purple line. We're holding underneath the 200, and we're holding underneath the blue. And you're really going, geez, that looks fantastic to me, right? And you don't freaking get it. And it can be frustrating, right? This is the last place you had an entry, was right there. And that was 4:21 in the morning. Well, I take it back. You had this, and you had this. But that was the last place you had just a super sweet entry, right? Ever since 6:36 a.m., you could sit there going, geez, I know we're going lower. And the process didn't give you an entry, right? So this is very important. People that I see that go on tilt go, screw it. The process isn't giving me the entry. Therefore, I'm just going to take it, right? And that works today. The problem is when they try it everywhere else, it stops them. So they get it right today. They end up with a big day. Not only that, but we've had this before. This is very, very, very important, right? I want to show you. See over here how it rolled over and the 100 crosses the 200 over here. See that? So one could argue, well, there's two problems here, right? So I'm gonna just go into great detail on this one. First of all, when I take a short to the downside, I want it up here in this upper channel, because if you take a bunch of samples, the upper channel works so much better than the lower channel. And what happens is when you're shorting the lower channel, can you get it right? Yes, you can. Does it work sometimes? Yes, it does. But most of the time, so someone who takes it down here is going to go, hey, this is great. I knew it was short. I took my algos on the turn and I made a bunch of money, right? But if you plug this in and you let the algorithm take it automatically for you, right, where it just executes the trade, what you would find out is over a long period of time, this is a massive money loser. Entering your trades down here, even on process, on algo, is a massive money loser on time. Nobody in this room, if they looked at the results, not a single soul would run that trader assist if it executed down here, myself included. No one would. Because all you're going to do is watch as it loses money day after day, and this one day will never make up for all the money it loses on the other side. So you can be upset that this whole thing rolled down what's essentially, let's call it 200 points, 250 points, and you go, I didn't get paid at all. Now come over here and look at your process, right? Again, I'm not putting time considerations in. I don't trade till after 9 o'clock most days, right? Trade 1, we're going to call that a stop. Trade 2. Trade 3, I'm going to call that a stop. Trade 4, so it's gone stop, win. Your win has far exceeded your stop. I'm going to go stop. I'm going to go with stop. Yeah, I'm going to go with stop. I'm going to go with win. If you put a 20-point stop on that, I think it survived. I may be wrong by a tick, but I'm pretty sure it did. Okay, and that's not even below the 100, right? So that's an aggressive entry. Win. Again, if you're leaving the trailers, right? I don't trade before 9 o'clock for a reason. I've tried it. I've tried to bang my head making it work. It's just better after 9 o'clock. Win, 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 win. You're getting pretty close to being on the edge of okay. Stop. No stop. Stop. The computer wouldn't take this because it's in a zipper and I haven't worked out the whole zipper thing yet. So it's either one stop or two stops if you're manually executing, right? No trade. Why? We're clearly above the 100 here. Like it's not even close. We're above the 100 and the 200. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for that green bar long. And if you recall yesterday, I said, wow, I really don't like this trade. So I want to cover this for a second. If you took this trade, okay, there's nothing wrong with taking it, but I hated how it's set up. And this is the reason why. When this thing pops over that 100 and 200, see how we didn't clear the last major, we didn't really clear the last major swing up there? And I want to see that swing broken. And that's the reason I hated that trade. I don't have a better way to... Hey, hold on a second. In Canada. Oh, I don't even know how to reply to these people. Let's see what happens. So at any rate, guys, I apologize. I haven't figured out how to work the chat in Top Step, but I will. I mean, in Top Step in YouTube, but I'll figure it out and I'll be able to reply to you. But thank you, Ed. So when you're looking for this, right? If you just stay cool, you will be all right. Not only that, but this is important. Okay, so the trade is algorithmed out, right? You can see here. Sorry. Why is that there? Oh, I see what I did. Give me just 1 second. I'll fix this. I don't need this here. This is the short side of the formula, right? So here's a clear look, right? That's how I have the trader assist programmed to take it. Like it's trading it automatically, and you can see the scales as it goes down. Now I can also tell you something about this because it's a lot cleaner, right? What we know from a lot of testing over years now at this point, I think it's been 2 years of aggressive testing and running algos. When you break underneath this 200 and 100, it's really after 9 o'clock, it's the first 3 to 4 trades and shut it off. I realized yesterday it was 5 trades, but the biggest pushes are going to come somewhere between trade 1 and trade 4. And there's a reason for that. The majority of the time, you're going to catch those early traders off sides, and people are going to look at that chart, right? They're going to look at that chart. The market's just opened. We got the big impulse move. They recovered back to the 200 and 100 moving averages, and they are going to go, oh crud, I got to get out of this position. It ain't going to rally, right? They pushed up. They came in underneath the last swing. They broke the swing. They came back. Trade 1, trade 2, trade 3, and you'll notice if you have to narrow it down to just one bar, that white algo, right, that's firing is the best. And then, as I said yesterday, by the time you got over here, I think you're up $1,500 on 10 micros. That's one contract, right? That $1,000 is $250,000 a year. You don't have to press every day, and it makes money daily. Now, if you ran it to the end of the day, sorry, I reran this and stopped it, so it's not accurate. If you ran to the end of the day, it would be $750 in P&L if you didn't shut it off, which is still fine. And then the long side ended up losing $5 on the day. No big deal, especially considering the type of day it was, right? But the best is on micros or one, basically essentially running one contract, kill that thing and just collect the money, right? Build your account size. You don't want to stay, if you're in Top Step or Apex or whatever, you don't want to stay there forever. Those guys are, I don't know about Top Step, but I think Apex one day will go away, right? Or they'll change the rules to make it much harder. You want your own cash account is what you want, and you want to be making money. And what this shows you is, okay, and when I'm coaching people, this is the most difficult part. I can't get people to leave trailers because when it comes back like this, right? So see this got one scale, right? And everything else in there got stopped. And what everyone says is, I don't want to experience that stop again. I could have had X number of dollars. And they never let the process work out for them. And that's a very difficult way to build an account, right? I fall into that category sometimes myself, which is why I love this Trader Assist. It makes my life uber easy, right? Okay, so now going back to my main chart for today, what am I looking for? So I can tell where support and resistance are in general, right? So I want to get out of the first half hour. Why? This way I don't get banged around. Why isn't this rolling? There we go. I don't get banged around trying to guess lows and highs and getting whipped with massive fast algos coming in, okay? Secondly, if I want to be long, I want to be above the 100 and the 200. That's the gold and the blue. And I prefer them to be crossed, but they don't have to because sometimes you get that early cross. I'm going to give an example. Okay, here's an example where we're trending down. So this is, I don't want to go to yesterday. It was just nutty. Hold on a second. Let's go back to last week. Anytime last week. Here, perfect example. This is 11/11, Tuesday, right? We're underneath, right? You've been paid on the short side. Here, let me show you. You had white bar down, green bar down. This is the one you got stopped on, right? Right there. And if you continued shorting, you're way past your 5 trades. Here, I'll show you. You had some earlier. There's 902. You had green bar down, which is a variation. So it's 1, 2, 3. This is your 4th trade. If you stop right there, you were up about $1,000 to $1,500 on 10 micros. Okay. Yes, you could have taken the 5th trade up here. I don't have a problem with anyone taking the trade. That double square on top of it really makes that a powerful trade. But just know the easiest momentum is when we're underneath these moving averages. Very easy. Okay. So, and you know exactly what you're looking for, which when the market's moving and you're in the heat of the battle, you don't have to figure it out. Now, when you look at this, okay, see how we're above the 100 and the 200? Look how the algos change, right? All you do is watch, right? The first thing that I want to see is, first of all, can I get a green bar on any variation of a green bar on the turn, preferably with a blue square? I don't get it. The next thing I want to see is this white bar stuffed. And I'm going to be clear on this. The first 3 white bars stuffed when this turns are the best. So this is 1 over the 100 and 200, hasn't crossed yet. Too high in the channel, don't take it up here. This is number 2. That's okay. Doesn't go anywhere. This doesn't count. It has to be the low bar. It's in here somewhere. 3, right there. That's 1, 2, 3. No one would have taken that. That was right on the close. Nobody would have taken that. Okay. The next trades I want to see over here are green bars up, specifically all the variance on the turn. So if you do it without the restriction of trying to get it back to pull back later on the channel, what you're looking for is 3 bars down minimum, and then the algo to fire. So the computer will not fire on this, okay, on the trader assist, it will not fire. It's got to be down here, okay? But if you do the count, right, that's green bar turn 1, green bar turn 2, right? You leave your trailer, you're having a very good day. And again, this is green bar turn 3 and that one stopped. You don't want to take any more than 4. I wouldn't have counted that one. And you're at the end of the day. You didn't get the fourth one. That's a good day, guys. That's a good day, and you didn't have to figure the whole thing out. And here's what's happening before you cross over that, right? Is that, see how when all the momentum's to the downside? My experience has been, my own experience, right? Is what I hyper focus on is I go, well, we took out the low and we trapped, right? And I see this orange bar paid, and it paid me a bunch, like $4,000 if I took that, right? And I see this work, and I see this work. What I don't see work is I get so intense on working on the reversal that I don't see all the reversals that come back the other way. Yeah, well, I want to see that swing. Like, I want it to look like this, Vinny. See that? If almost every time if you go look, when it breaks that swing, you almost always break a swing to the downside. Back up. That's the only reason I was cautious yesterday. No, the swing you'd want to break is, there is no swing to break. See that? You'd have to break this. That has to go right now. And we're not anywhere close to that. Okay? So, and I can't answer that question in great detail, but please hold. Because you could scalp out of it. It went 15 points, Ed, and I have it scaled to set up to go 10. Here, I don't know which one it is, but here I'll show you. The trader assist. I'm pretty sure I was back over here. It's a fair question. So all I'm counting is if you're scalping, right? All I'm counting is if you're scalping, like this trade right here. This trade took a loss the way I have it programmed, right? Because it got one scale at 10 points and then all the others. But there are some people in the room, there are some, not me, right? They go 10 and I don't like the way it looks and I'm all out. And I'm all right with that. Okay? But you're correct. This is a stop and that's exactly what it played out in this case. And you'll see after 10 points, the stop went, let's see, 93.03. It was a 10-point stop. And the reason, well, yeah, no problem. We'll just discuss it later. It wasn't intentional either way, and I'm fine being called out on it, Ed, no problem. So going back over here, what am I looking for today? Okay, so first of all, coming in on the day, right? I don't want to guess on the turn. Let somebody else do that because I just want my money and I want to get out of Dodge, right? Very, very important. I know that I can make between $500 and $5,000 a day. $4,000 a day is $1 million a year. I have bigger trading accounts than most people because I've been doing this for 30 years, right? But I still keep in my head, right? 500 is $125,000. And these have to be averaged out, right? If you're just barely making $500 a day, that's not going to cut it because you're going to have down days and you have to plan on those down days. They're going to happen, okay? There's no point in trying to work around that. So what you want to shoot for, right? If you're on the trader assist and it goes to 750, right? Well, if you get enough 750s, you throw in a few down days in there and you're going to end up, even if you fall short, you end up at $100,000. You don't, Vinny. It's a art, not a science. Again, I'll discuss it with you, but I'm basically looking for where the last major push came from to the downside. Like it's that. Like you can just see the push down. Before that, it was this. I'm just looking from where the last major swing came. There's no science to it, my friend. I wish there was, but I'm just looking. He asked where the swing was. How do I determine that? And I can't. I just looked at it yesterday. It's 30 years. I just looked at it and go, I know that it's got to clear that. I don't know what else to say, right? And I'm using volume as well. So the other thing I want to point out, okay, when you're looking at this, see on the 1 minute chart, look earlier in the night. Okay, this swing was at 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning. A big swing up. We dumped on some kind of German economic news. Okay. So two things. See how I had this highlighted already right here? That was the biggest volume of the night. That's what caused that breakdown. Look what it did when you came up into it. See that? How that served as resistance all the way through there for this whole roll down, right? So that's number one. I don't know where the point of control was in there. It was up here. Okay, so first of all, to go higher today, you need to clear 25, 640, 75. You got to make this guy want to flip, okay? And it looks like we have a new player here. Let's see. Who's the new player? 25, 640. There's only 883 contracts. It's now this guy. I would redraw it. So see how they couldn't get over this guy right here? So I would take it back. I would narrow it down. I would redraw that now like this. That you have to clear, but psychologically, secondarily, you have to clear this as well. It's got to get over both of them, right? So however you want to denote that on your chart, it's a 1 minute chart. I'm just looking at it, right? And then when you come into the low, see how you came down, right? A lot of this is just visual observation. You don't have to be a genius, thank God for me, to do this, right? Meaning I'm not a genius, right? See how the volume all came down? You got this volume spike, and you'll notice over each of those volume spikes, we couldn't get over them, right? See that? Can't get over it. There's the volume spike. Sometimes it's pretty easy. Just draw a line across the top of it like this. That's going to act as your support, right? Orthodox closed above, meaning the 1 minute bar that closed above had no physical contact with the bar below, and then let the thing kick out off to the upside. And where are they going to attempt to go? Because this bar hadn't formed yet, is they're going to come back to this bar over here to the left. That kind of gives you your range. And that's nice when everything's nice, wide, and spread out, right? And then you'll see right now. Okay, so now look at it the other way around, right? So the other way around, we came down, hit support, reversed. They tried to hold it, it broke. So guess what? Either this guy has to be regained, right? This guy has to be regained. And in here, your biggest volume is, I can't tell. So let's go look. Ooh, they're basically equal. So it's all of this. So I'm going to go with this was your strongest seller. So when you get it like this, right? This guy's your strongest seller. Okay, that was kind of foobar the way they did that. Okay, this guy is your strongest buyer right here. So what I would want to do in this case, I know I've got this guy over here that they try to hold as support. I know this guy's my strongest seller who I'm pushing back into right now. And so I have to decide, do I want to work off the seller or do I want to work off the buyer? I want to get above the buyer at 25, 510, right? And then have them use this support and then push out and start working my way back to the upside. That's how I'm going to read that chart. And now you have a new biggest buyer right there. So the volume's going to go off. And what I'm going to do, right, what I'm going to do is wait till 8:45 to even start reading the volume again. Because I know as soon as we open, we're going to print like 4,000, 3,000 to 4,000 contracts in that first minute. I'm aware that we're already in open drive lower. I can see that. I don't need to make I don't need to make guesses. If you need help figuring out where that's going, take that line tool, that ray tool, and just find 2 points, put it like that. So use the most aggressive is what I would suggest. All this does, there's nothing magical about that line. All it's going to tell you is if you impulse move above it, we've probably switched trend. All you're trying to do is get your brain to adapt to what the market is. And all of this, right? All of this simply comes back to, do you get the algo to fire above the 100 and 200? The rest of this is just window painting for me, trying to read the tea leaves, right? So I'm very clear what the process is going to come down to. First of all, risk control. Your stop should not be any more than 20 points on any of these bars. Usually it's 15 to 18, okay? The algo is set to 20, meaning the trader assist. The scales, I have 10 on the trader assist. Let's go see what I have set. How about that? File, analysis, studies. My scales are set at, okay, so the stop starts off as 20. Okay, there is no trailing distance, so the stop is 20. Sorry. Stop mode, distance 18. Sorry, that should be 20. Apologies. 20. I have it on one and not the other. Break even mode. At 15 points, it goes to minus 40 ticks. That's 10 points. At 20, the break even goes to 0. Okay, and then scales. OCO 1, 10. OCO 2, 15. I get rid of the highest portion right out of the gate. Then my trailers. Okay. 2 go at 25. 2 go at 40. And that's it. That covers 10 micros. Okay. And that's how I run that one. Okay. And that is a very good formula. And it's going to take shorts when it's under the 200 and under the 100. It's going to take longs above there. It can have a bad day. You need to be prepared for that. If you don't, you'll freak out when it does. It can draw down. Okay. It can just get in one of those funky places where nothing works, right? Where it's just chop city. That's its weakness. That's how the thing works. And then in the manual trading, I'm doing the same thing. Do not move your stops. I am looking for the double squares. I'm telling you right now, my manual trading. When I get above here, I'm simply looking for the white bars on the turn. But if I get a white bar with a square on it, I am pushing my trailers hard. So let me show you where that would backfire. If I traded at 9 o'clock, right, it would have backfired on me right there. Where would have it worked? Right there at 8:53, a purple square within a white square. I know that thing has a very good chance of extending down. I have to figure out where support and resistance is on that, but I am not scaling very heavily up front. I'm scaling heavily on the backside when I get the double squares on that. It's just, I know that the trade is coming in, and then the same thing on the upside, right? It doesn't always work. Had this been above the 100 and the 200, I would have been, that's not updating. Hold on a second, Control R, stop. There we go. Got it fixed. But when I get those double squares, I switch my scaling methodology. If you can't do that or you don't know how to do that, don't worry about it. It's all right, right? It doesn't matter. So let's go through it again. Within the first 15 minutes, you have the highest likelihood of a trade going to profit and stopping you out before you can place any of your orders. I don't run the trader assist until 9:03 a.m. I think most people should wait till after 9 o'clock to start trading so you don't get caught in the whipsaw and the emotion of trading. And I suggest you spend that first half hour looking at the algos you're going to look for after 9 o'clock, right? And then monitoring very closely in your journal if you're getting anxious about staying on process and what your plan is for scaling. If you're a 10-point scalper and go, I'm all right with that, right? But I'm going for 10, 20, 30, 40 because I know it makes my life easier. I can make a living scalping for 10 points, and sometimes I do, but I do not like it, okay? It's a lot of stress and it's a lot of work, okay? I prefer just to get the trade when it sets up, okay? Trying to think if there's anything else. Let the market develop, right? Don't assume all one way. And if you want to be long, great. Hope it sets up when it's over the 200 and the 100. And let's have a good day. You'll see here we've gapped down, right? If your profile is just a great little tool, right? Here's where all the prior lows are. It's this. Highest prior low, lowest prior low. Right there. Right where we are right now. You need to impulse away from that 98 to 55 to come in and fill the gap down here. There's a whole area of fair value. I'm telling you, this area is going to be easily traded. There's going to be some traders going to look at that 25, 360 to 54 because there's naked volume points of control in there. And that's our likely target to the down, immediate likely target. But at the end of the day, this blue area can get swept. Choose wisely inside that blue area. Okay? Choose wisely. Do not, when I see traders do poorly, they trade a lot in here. Okay? You want to get to the edges, and the market sometimes cooperates with that, and sometimes it goes, ha ha ha, I'm not doing that. On the speaker front today, we have, I need to find my calendar. I already posted it up in the room. Okay, here we go. 9:30 Kashkari. No econ. Okay. 10:34 week bill. Who cares? 11:15 Musalem speaks from the Fed. Hammock speaks from the Fed at 11:20. New York lunch. I won't be here. 30-year bond at noon. Trump signs executive orders. You're always subject to him saying something. Whatever. That's it to the end of the day. Okay. So, and U.S. federal budget balance. I don't know if that still goes off with the government having been shut down or not. If you trade Asia, the Chinese industrial output deal comes out at 8 o'clock. I don't trade it, but if you are trading it, you should be aware of it because that can move the market. It's weird, but it does. And because it's so illiquid, right? We are in the middle of an open drive lower. Okay, and you can see to the left, in fair value, hard place to counter, right? So people who are trying to grab those trades there and trying to get a reversal, look at everything the market's telling you on all time frames, right? This is a 32 tick, right? Lower lows, lower highs, right? See that? That's a 32 tick. Lower lows, lower highs. Over here, underneath the 100, the 200, and the 400, lower lows, lower highs. I don't care that I don't get an algo to enter the short trade. I'm not even trading now right now anyways, but I'll wait. I'll get paid. I don't care, right? It's okay, right? If you'll follow process, you'll get your money. I can't state it enough. It is boring, okay? And if you find yourself getting bored, you should stop, right? If you're a trader that gets bored and wants to click to satisfy that boredom, you should stop and work on addressing that problem. Okay? If you get anxious about being down, right, you should stop if you're down and go, I'm down, I'm uncomfortable. I'm going to work on addressing this problem. What you should not do is just go, I'm going to keep clicking and getting frustrated, right? And it's very few people now, almost no one in the room that I know of, that goes, well, I just kept clicking till I lost all my money, right? Don't do that. Don't let that be you, okay? Don't let that be you. Even if we go quote unquote straight down today, at some point they will counter rotate this thing. And since the range is wide, already I believe over 300 points. Let's see, high 25,840. This evening we were at 25,720. We're almost at, we're getting close to 400 points, right? So expect a 100 point counter rotation at least, right? And at some point in the day, we'll get it. And I would strongly suggest in this environment that you do no bottom fishing. Any questions? Make money. If you don't make money, make no money. Last thing you want to do, don't blow up and don't give back unnecessarily. And if, like Joyce doesn't like to short, and it's not a problem, right? Joyce, wait till you get above the 100 and the 200 and enjoy your day. Right? You'll have another day for your manual trading specifically, right? Just let it come to you would be my suggestion, right? You'll have your days and you'll know it. And Joyce, this is really important from a coaching standpoint. You're going to do your best when we're over that 100 and 200 for the way that you manually trade. And that's what I would focus on for you, and let the algo handle, let the trader assist handle the underside, so you don't have to flip your brain around to looking at shorts. Thanks a lot, Randy. Good info. This is pure sell, open drive lower. You do not have to sweat it. You do not have to chase it. You don't have to do anything, right? Just let them do what they've got to do, right? Again, stops tend to come early in the morning. I do not care what kind of algo they are able to drum up to the upside, just doesn't matter to me, right? I don't care. I hope they run it all the way back personally so I can get set up for either a good long or a good short, one of the two. If they don't give me access, I won't do nothing and I'll have the same amount of money I wrote in with today, but I doubt it. They usually give me a good trade several times a day. And my trader assist is set to go on at 9:03 a.m. Central Time. Okay. And I show the market down 278 on NQ and 48 on ES. Nice roll down. And that all teed off from right over here. That 100, 200, 400, right? Teed off there and it never took out that high, right? And they pushed, how you read that is they pushed start here. See how he came back and pushed and he couldn't take out the high by even a tick of that swing and it all fell apart from there. Pretty funny how they do it, like very close to the tick a great deal of the time. Using these moving averages to relieve the pressure you feel to find the bottom. Okay. This RTH low is also a naked point of control from an hourly. And then the 25, 270, 201, and 64 are all prior days 24-hour low areas. You're looking to lose those areas and retrap. So our first trap area actually comes back above 25,502, right? And this will act as resistance until we get back above to trap back into the balance, right? But that is as open drive lower, trend day down as you get, right? And break out of balance. So usually the counter on that will come, well, when we're a hyper bull market, it comes early, but in a non-hyper bull market, 9:45 to 10:45, somewhere in there, they'll try to run a resistance. And if we're one timing to the downside on the half-hour chart, which is what the profile is, usually it'll fail over New York lunch and you can find a short to the downside into the end of the day. Okay, so this is ugly, ugly, ugly open. And the reason there's no downside algos printing here is because there's not enough concentrated volume yet to make those algos fire. Okay. Also, we're below VWAP as well. We're going to have the 24-hour and the RTH VWAP. I don't know why my VWAP is off here, but let's go see if I can turn it on. I have it in here somewhere. Maybe I don't. Here, I'll just add it. Oh, I didn't want to do that. My computer's not going to like that. Cancel. I reset my VWAPs to the beginning of the day. You can do yours wherever you want. I start mine at 7 a.m., so they're really not valid. You have to kind of trace where the last one was. There's your first white bar down, not at the fourth channel, but again, white bar down, push to the downside. Why not throw another line on there, right? There it is. But that's today's VWAP. Okay, so it's sitting up there at 25,441. I believe it's rolling. Oh, I gotta fix it. That's from 7 a.m., but I gotta fix it. Hold on a second here. It's not how I want that. Too many lines. And again, I don't care where they reverse it here, so it doesn't matter to me. Top band, ignore. Bottom band, ignore. Okay, settings. Let's make it a drop wider. There we go. But again, I'd wait till after the first hour before I start measuring that. If you want the old VWAP, it's pretty easy. It was sideways almost all night long. It's back over here. It's this. Just take a line, just like this. Just plot 2 points and extend it out. There, that's the old VWAP up there from overnight. And you can see we've rolled quite over. When you start measuring it from 7 a.m., it's rolled down quite a bit. And you may want to label that that's VWAP. There you go. And then you just move it right where you want it. And then when it gets there, you'll know what it was. So, in order to go higher, you gotta be above the 100, be above the 200, and you probably want to be over VWAP too. And if it's important for you to catch the turn, well, you're gonna have to work that out. I know I need to be over the 100 and the 200. And I don't care about catching the bottom, so it's all fine by me. We're already down 300 points, so I don't know what else I'm going to possibly have to say about that. Let's make this a bit bigger so we can see it easier. There's white bar on the turn, not at the 4th channel, so it's about the 3rd channel down. Okay, and again, we're down a lot already. I'd like to see it breathe a little bit to the upside, but that's a feeling more than just trading off of any kind of, that's a valid entry right there as far as I'm concerned. It's just not 9 o'clock. And I will wait till after 9 o'clock. And so what you want to do is start keeping track of how far we're off the low, right? 270 to 33. So 270 brings to mind 370. Magically enough, that'll be about right at the 100 period moving average, right? You got to let them rotate it around, right? There is no econ at 9 o'clock. That'll be a white bar down. Man, that was fast, but perfect. And here comes the rippers. Told you. At some point, they're going to flip this thing around on people. And it's very hard to tell where that will occur. I'm telling you, what happens is people wait to short and they just get run over, run over, run over the whole way up. Don't let that be you. That's why you just wait till after 9 o'clock. It's pretty straightforward. See that? Once they get a hold of it, they just run it. It's just options guys jamming in there. There's nothing to do. There's literally nothing to do. It's so hard to read that and go, oh, we're trending down. It's going to stay down. And it's just as soon as these guys see the hook on the options, they just bail in. Just let them. It's too far, too fast stuff, you know? Here they come again. Like magically, there's no sellers all of a sudden again. It's just all straight jam them and jam them some more. See? It's just bullshit. The whole move down was bullshit. The whole move up is bullshit. Yep, I agree with that, Ed. And to me, it's just jaw dropping that they have the ability to run it like that. It's totally, it frustrates me. If there's nothing wrong with it, I just, To me, it's just not trading. It's just, they're just running it. That's all they're doing. It's just dog pile in all the way down, all the way up. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing illegal about it. They haven't done anything ludicrous or insane. It's just, why bother? You know, there's no structure to it. And now when they get done with it, they'll flip it the other way. There's been no excess of volume over here. And you'll notice the white owl go down did just fine. We should have a fine day with that white algo. See, they just get jammed. That's all. See, it's just the game. That's all there is to it. They come down. It's very frustrating when there's no liquidity move on that. They're just, yeah. This is why I said don't trade in the first half hour because they're just going to sit there and jam you out of your position over and over and over again. It's what they do. See that? It's just, and it's the options guys that are doing it. If you want to know who's responsible for that, it's the options guys. They all sell or they all run, and so it ends up being a bullshit run. You either had to be long right out of the gate, I mean, right there at the bottom, or they're just going to U-turn you, just like that. Now you're above the 100, right? So you just got to wait. And the funny thing, and it's not funny, but they can run it all the way back down to the low. No signal on the turn over there, by the way. And you need to get back below the 100 where you're in the scoop. And you'll notice they ran right to the VWAP at 24,413. So why they're so eager to buy it after they were so eager to sell it is a mystery to me. I don't get that. But whatever it is fine with me. I know after 9 o'clock I'll get set up, and I didn't get chopped on any of that, so that's important to me too. Your 50-60 back you'll want to measure to keep track of what's going on. And again, if you look at the size of rotation, 264 to 388. about 100 points. And after 903, I'm looking for the white bar down below the 100. That's what I'm hoping to look for, at least. See how it starts to hug that one little area? That's all they're going to do. It's just, it's stupid. That's all. Just wait for it to set up. What a battle. I mean, what a battle. And what a bummer of an open, too. It'd been nice if they let it set up. I need to get underneath 25,379 to consider a short, especially in this situation, or we need to get above the 200 to consider a long. So I'll let them do whatever they got to do to make that happen. Now we're below the 100 and 200. If they don't tank it straight down, which the way the futures are running, who knows, we could get a short setup in there. The algo will be on in 1 minute. And I guarantee you, because a bunch of people try to manage that trade this morning in 200-point ranges and very fast markets, they got their accounts blown out. And that's how that goes. Because that, right, what is everyone thinking? Oh, it's going to go lower. And that's why I said it's a 269 to 414. You've got to expect in a 400-point range that this thing's going to counter, right? A little bit. Like markets don't go in a straight line. Now we need it to counter and we can't get a freaking darn thing to go up. We need it to come back up to that 375 and give us an entry of some sort and wait till the fourth channel's aligned. So just let it build. And you can see the volumes dropped off dramatically down here, like just fell off, right? And somewhere in here they should give us a setup somewhere. And there you're gonna have all your retail friends looking right over. Well, right there. For the reversal to 60T retrace, I'm not playing that game underneath. What are they? Came in, a little consolidation. No algo to the downside. Down you go. Come on, rally. That's what we wanted, was these averages to start catching up. We just need them to get up here into the top of the channel. Green bar stuffed. There you go. That's what we wanted them to do. Someone must have said boo. Damn, look at that. Just guys, I don't know what's going on with the liquidity and why we stop and burst like this, but it's very hard to trade. I'm just telling you right now. Very, very hard to trade it. So that is brutal to anybody who's made any mistake, who's trying to catch it, any kind of trend of any sort. You're going to find yourself getting your butt kicked very, 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 very quickly. Okay? Do not let yourself get caught up in that, is my suggestion. It hurts. When they move it this quick, it goes from 0 to 100 in a second. I'm telling you, your stops are just going to get elected all over the place. And it sucks. Like that, right? Yeah, they're just running, running, running with no rhyme or reason. It's very hard when it's like this. Okay? I don't know why we're running like this. Doesn't even matter to me. I don't care. Right? I don't even care. It's just stupid. Nothing's happening that it's just options guys running it is all it is. Okay? Do not get caught up in it. Wait till the algos fire so you don't get hurt. Look at that. Explain that and explain that. I'm all right with it. Went to the 62 retrace. I'm all right with all of that. And I'm all right with we're trading all the way up to support and resistance. But to me, it's a very hard way to trade when it trades like this. See that? Look, see how it looked like it was going to go down for a second? And then they just bring it right back up. Like, I don't know who's speaking to make it do that or what have you, but it's no longer a down market, right? Like when you run like that, you're not getting regular rotations like where it counter rotates and then down. It's violent, right? So let it settle. When they settle, we'll make money. Unless this is somehow important to you, in which case, okay. And who am I to argue with you? But it makes no sense to me. I can just tell you that right now. Zero sense to me that they keep running it like this. Just I have no understanding, and I've traded for 30 years. I don't understand that move right there, right? I don't understand the move down. I don't understand the move up, right? I don't know what changed, right? It's okay with me that they ran. They broke the swing. They came back, did a 50-60 back, but I have no idea who's running the show here or who has the edge, right? And nor do I need to. That part's okay. I don't need to understand it. And if it's just a liquidity grab and that's all it is, I'm okay with that. But I'm very, very sensitive to not losing my money in this situation. Okay? And I still don't have a single tradable signal. And I'm not going to trade 200-point sweeps. 315, this is 904. This is 908. You make a mistake in here mentally or psychologically, and you just swept 315 to 445. It's 130 points in 4 minutes. Great if you get on the right side, sucks if you get on the wrong side, and you think you're going to have time to negotiate it, but odds are you aren't, right? And no one else is either. That's why it's getting swept like that. And on no volume. Look at the volumes all falling off. I don't understand what I have to do to. Just frustrating. Well, I guess it's a lot of volume, actually, but however they want to do it, that's fine. Just set it up. I'm fine. I still don't have a trade I can trade. And I'm above the 100, I'm above the 200, and I'm probably looking for longs in this scenario. Well, that's going to go down as one of the most ridiculous openings this year. No longer bearish. They're going for the trap back into range. All the way back up here to retest the scene of the crime. And I still don't have a single trade. And I'm nowhere in a position to get a short, and I need to pull back to get a long. Above VWAP. Um, yeah. New high of the day from after the initial open. I don't know if we've cleared the high of the open. Let's see, 8:30. We haven't yet, but we're on a balanced day now. We've traded the whole range. There's 8:31, 8:30 and a quarter, 8:30. Here's the high. Right there. 25,500. And they come back the whole way back. Just Yeah, I'm totally disappointed. I wanted a two-sided market, and we instead we're getting V-shaped markets. So now we went from 500 to 300, almost back to 500 now. So I guess that's okay. Man, how can that be? What a scam. A 150 point rotation up, two of them, straight up, no relief. And now you have all the shorts on the run. Here comes another high. They're going to run it right back. Damn. This whole thing was manipulated, as far as I'm concerned. That is a scam and a half. No chance to get the low, no chance to get the medium. Just railroad you both ways. I have no algos that fired. They're the only blessing. If you're uncomfortable running the trader assist with this kind of range, I'd understand. I'm running mine. You have to decide if you want to run yours, right? I am running mine. You have to decide if you want to run yours. Okay. And the range is humongous. I'm so disappointed in that opening after waiting for 2 days to get a clear, we're done with this whole stupid government shutdown thing. To get that day and that reversal up and down 300 points basically in 30 minutes sucks. We need it to settle. Too many people got short, too many people got long, and we railroad collided each other. That's the most. When you get that big a wave right off the open and they do that crap, everyone's left going, what do we do now? Right? So you got to get everyone gather themselves. Back to the 200. That's a 97 to 05, 100-point rotation down. I'm telling you, there's no one in control of this. Buyer nor seller. Is ridiculous. It's like, get a hold of yourselves, guys. Look at that. Look at that. No one's in control of this. It's just goes on an options tearing spree where there's no pools of liquidity. Look how much volume's going off here. Like, that's abnormal. It's a ton of volume, and there's no clear, like on any time frame, there's no clear, like, okay, we had the biggest buyer over here get underneath them and fall away, but we got no clarity. That's just all there is to it. It's pretty amazing. Let's see if the trader took anything. Short certainly didn't. Longs, maybe? I was afraid of that. One trade, down 335. That's why I said I wanted to turn it off, but that's fine. And that's not bad considering, but we're under the 100 and under the 200 again. Just FYI. You're looking for the short entry. That should be a short entry, I think. Yep. We'll see what she does. I'm very concerned about how wide the range is in general. But I'm going to let it run. Point of control is down at 23,376. I should have given it one scale. Let's see. Nope, no scales yet. Just missed it. There's scale 1, scale 2 is coming up. There's scale 2. Nice. That helps. 3 and 4 are below. That's the first white bar down below the 100 and 200. Blue bar down, excuse me, but variation of white on the turn, and gave you a 03 to 75 rotation. You should still be on your trailers, I think. Yeah, you're on your trailers. Your stop is a break even. We'll see if we get a little love to the downside. You only have 2 contracts left, so down slightly. If that flat, you'll probably be flat if that comes back in and covers off. Well, that should have gotten you your third scale. Nope, coming up 63.50. Ha! Thanks, Ed. I'm not stressed. I'm frustrated. I expect you to have a good day today, which I still may. Just totally disappointed in that. Like, I wanted all those moving averages to move down deep in the hole, set us up for the long, and then pop it all the way back up. Or vice versa. Come up, try to pop it up, get everything up nice and high and tight, and then let us play the other way. But good feedback on the vocals there, and I do appreciate it. Come on, last scale. We'll sell up to get this. See if we get it. Come on, 66. Less scale. So someone threw the anchor down. We got it. Wow. There we go. So up 410 minus 355. So flat on the day. That's fine. Let's see if we can get set up again. And down, down, down we roll. Don't buy below the 200 and you are fine. Good, at least I like this pace. Just bring it back up. They just racked some people today. That's all there is to it. Oh, you leave the trailer, guys. White bar down. If you were looking for it, I'm not sure if that fired off the third channel. Look. Did not. Didn't make the third channel trade, which is fine. Somewhere in here is going to be a beautiful trade. Let's get ready to go up so we can short you. What a... And down we roll. We got the short. That's pretty good. Down into support. Not much to do. Straight melt now. Nothing to do, guys. Do not bottom fade this. Our system's working perfectly.
field.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm trying out this my funded futures platform. Well, there's nothing else to do here, and I'm letting the trader trade. So, it looks like these guys, my funded futures and stuff, they're really coming after Apex. Like, I don't know how Apex is going to survive. Like $77. My funded futures pays. Like everyone who's in it says it pays. And secondly, it's $77 all in to get funded, and you can withdraw up to, I forget how much, $100,000 or something like that. It's capped at 3,000 per withdrawal. Like I don't know how people, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Which is good for us at least. But that's as trend down as you want, and I think the algos did a pretty good job. Yeah, it does. Well, especially on today, Vinny. No, not always like this. This is exceptional. I'm looking. I'm looking how many bars is formed. Crazy. Mine closed below the 100 and the 200, Bill. I don't know why yours didn't. See that? There's my 100. There's my 200. It closed below. Do you need it physically to close below? Mine closed. Mine closed underneath. Anyone else is not closed underneath on that short? I'm going to look. Oh, I see. I see what the problem is. And this may be boring, but it is better than losing money all day. But I'd say this is a pretty good job, wouldn't y'all? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? I'm just watching. I'm like, okay, well, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, right? I got frustrated at first, but I think it's doing all right. This is what I wanted to get these things extended and all the way down here. Yeah, I think so, Brian. After London close, it'll be a lot easier. All the way. This is right into support at 25,201. It's a prior day's low. 25,270 traps us above again, and then 25,170. All of these are important areas. I just don't want to catch it free fall style. I want it to print up for me. I mean, so fast. I'm down 402 on NQ. And again, no algo here is fine by me. We'll just get the setup when it comes. Now, isn't this easier than trying to constantly find the bottom, guys? It doesn't, unfortunately. I'm working on that, but it does support Sierra chart, and you can do a turbo trade copier. You can do a turbo trade copier, which I'll find for you, and it'll copy over your trades from Sierra chart. Jason and I are testing it on Top Step right now, and it works really well. It runs $30 a month. Um, so that's what we're working on at any rate. I'll post that as soon as I get a chance. But basically, you run your Sierra chart in Sim and it copies it over to NinjaTrader. So um, that's how you'd have to do it. This isn't bad. We actually want this. Okay. We actually want this to run up like this. Okay. Does anyone have any concerns or questions? I know I didn't handle the open very well. I didn't think I did. I got flustered. I wanted to have a really big day and I didn't get the setup I wanted. But I'm forgetting to count my blessings of how good I'm doing on the downside, and the P&L is working. Anyone? Okay. Oh, Ed, I'm sorry. Ed, are you still in the room? Yeah, it's messed up a little bit. I was talking to Sean about it, but I'm leaving it as is. It was close enough for hand grenades. It closed underneath both the 100 and the 200. So you're correct. It's off slightly from the way I said it would be set up. And now I'm having to go back and back test which way I want it, but right now it's testing better this way than the other way. It'll bite both ways, right? If one way it doesn't take the short, one way it doesn't take the short, the other way it gets stopped sometimes when it does take the short. So I'm having to figure it out basically. Long story short. And here we go with the whipsaw into the London close. That's the only explanation I have for it. We got it off a little bit. It was supposed to execute when both were underneath. It was an accident, but when we went back and back tested it, it executes better this way. I haven't gotten any scales. What did that short on? The blue one. It barely got stopped. Come on. Scale, 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 scale. There's scale one. Good. See if I get scale two. And that's why I moved the stop on that to 20 points instead of 18 points. And we'll see if it survives at all. Nope. I do not think it will. That'll stop that. So down. Oh, it's still plus 169. That's okay. Over the 100 now. Short squeeze in full effect. That should not have fired short. Oh, it did. Because it's under the 100 and 200 still. Got it. That should be scale 1. We'll see if we can get scale 2 out of that. Scale 3. Scale 3. Back up 419. We need one more trade in there to run through smoothly. Should get that last scale.
Hello?
Okay, so I need you to call them and circle me in on the call, Just. Like, call me and then add the call. Can you do that?
Yeah.
And then let me find her extension. Um, it's Rebecca. It's extension 061. Like, just when it answers, just type in 061.
Okay.
Do you want me to call and then you call back, or what do you want to do?
I can try it and see how it goes. Yeah.
No, okay, I have the phone numbers. Just let me call you. Oh wait, let me just add the call. I can do it here.
Thank you for calling Zion Health Share. Recorded for quality and training purposes. Esta llamada puede ser grabada. Thank you for calling Zion Health Share. This is Rebecca. And who am I speaking with today?
Hey Rebecca, this is Simon and Nicole Bosbos.
Hi. Yeah, did you guys get my message?
I did, so I was calling back to.
You're fine.